Hi everyone, it's Chukuma from Mastermind Automobile Solutions. It's a bright, sunny Saturday morning. Um, I'm actually out for delivery of this car we worked on and completed this morning. Today I want to talk about how to pinpoint ABS problems in a modern car. All right, so we had this 2009 RAV4. Well, it says 2009 on the engine bay. The sticker by the door indicates 2010 model. And then my scan tool here told me 2009. So I'll choose to go with what my scan tool is telling me. We had this car in for routine service, and maintenance. And the owner also complained about, the handbrake, said the brakes were not working and it was triggering the brake lights on the dashboard, which you're going to see soon. It was triggering that light, it wasn't working. So the ABS lights were on as well. So one will be confused. Is it a brake problem? Is it an ABS problem? Or is it both of them? So the purpose of this video is to pinpoint, show you how we pinpoint and solve some of these problems. So if you look at the dashboard of this car, you would see different lights. You would see the check engine lights, the ABS lights, the four-wheel drive lights. You still see the anti-skid lights and the brake light, of course. So how did we go about solving this problem? I'm going to show you. The first thing we did was to hook up our scan tool. And once we hooked it up, we looked at the fault codes that we got. And the first one showed the oxygen sensor heater control circuit low. Now, from our understanding and from what we've seen, the catalytic converter of this car is absent. And it's also possible that the sensors with them are not working. So it's showing bank 1, sensor 2. The sensor is unable to read anything. And if we look at the next code there, we're going to see the same code: oxygen sensor heater circuit, control circuit low, bank 1, sensor 2. And we're also seeing the same fault as permanent, for all three codes. Now, just to put things into perspective, if we go through the live data, it's going to bring out the live data just to be sure. We are going to be looking at what um, the sensors are, what the readings of the sensors are. So we can see that the O2 sensor bank 1, sensor 2, there is 0.175. It's supposed to be alternating, but it's staying at 0.175. So of course there's a problem there. And then if we look at the bank 2, sensor 2, we'll see that it's not even reading at all, 0.000, showing that there is inactivity from the sensor 2. So if you're going to do any work, it's going to be advisable to change out the oxygen sensors, even while the catalytic converters are being changed. Good enough, the short-term fuel trims from both bank 1 and bank 2, sensor 2, they are almost perfect at 99.9%, representing that the car is still running well, but it has emission problems, and of course it has problems with the sensors and catalytic converter. So that has put that into perspective. So we go back to look at what we can get from the ABS system of this car. And if we look at that, we would see, okay, this is where I saw that the car is actually a 2009 model, and my scan tool never goes wrong. So I would say 2009. So it's asking me, is this my vehicle? Yeah, it's a V6, it's a 3.5 liter, so it's all correct. Yes. And so once we accept that, it's going to go through the ABS system, and we can see that the engine control system has a malfunction, as well as the EV control system. There is malfunction in both, and we can also see a malfunction in the rear speed sensor, the left hand circuit. So everything seems properly attached. and working well. So it's possible the sensor itself is bad. It's possible the ABS sensor is not connecting properly with the ECU as well as the ABS pump, which is in front. So because the handbrake was inactive, what did we do? We proceeded first to, clear out the fault codes in the car. And if we do that, we'll just turn off the engine and only let the ignition stay on so that we can do that function. And then we are going to go back to do a global OBD2 scan. So whatever comes up is going to do we're going to do an erase, let's go back to ABS because we're dealing with the braking system. So when it brings out all these fault codes, we erase them, we erase them. We go to the ABS and then we erase, right? And once we've erased the ABS system, we can still go back to the menu and do, we'll go back to the menu and go back to the global scan, that shows us the sensors and all that. And we also go to erase. So it will clear that. Okay, we press any hotkey and we just confirm by starting up the car. Now on startup, you can see that all the codes have been erased. Now we can easily test out our brake by pulling up the brake, the handbrake, and pulling it up. You can see that the brake sign is illuminated, which is normal, and we put it down and it goes off, showing that the braking system is working. See it again, and then it goes off. Now you would also see that the codes have started to return gradually. The check light, the anti-skid, and the four-wheel drive lights, which were previously fully cleared. So that means that we have verified that we have fixed the handbrake code, because now drawing up the handbrake activates it. Putting it down doesn't activate it. Now, when we move this car, or eventually when all the codes come, including the brake code, which will still come back, yes, it's going to come back. It means that the brake works with the ABS system. So as soon as the ABS codes come in, we're going to see that code again. So we know that the brake, problem has been solved. The handbrake, the cable, the lining. The only other problem is the ABS. Understand that you can actually use a car with an ABS fault depending on the car. Some cars the ABS works with the transmission. But in a car like this, even with some faults with the ABS, you can use it till you're ready to fix. So we can move, when we move for a while, it's going to be easy. Now, just a little movement, and we have seen all the lights illuminate back. The ABS is back, the brake lights is back, and everything. So whether you drop the handbrake or you put it down, it doesn't make any difference because the ABS problems are there. We showed how we drop the handbrake, before, when we cleared out the ABS lights. But as soon as all the lights came back, which shows the car still has ABS problems. There is no effect of drawing up or putting back the handbrake. The only way you can know it's working is when you're driving and the handbrake is up. Of course, it will alert you by continuously making noise. So that's how you know as a driver, a good driver, and put it back down. Otherwise, you won't follow the brake light showing here anymore. So let's clarify once more that we changed out the lining, the brake lining at the back, at the rear. There's a lining that controls the brake. This one doesn't work with brake pads. No, it uses linings and brake pads as well. It doesn't depend on just brake pad. It has linings and it has brake pads. So we changed out the lining as well as the cable that controls this handbrake. So the normal braking is in full effect. And because the ABS problem is not so much, or it's not something that affects this car, the car can operate normally, other than the lights you see on this dashboard. So this means that, we've shown how the handbrake, even when we draw it up or put it down, the brake light remains. So that means that the handbrake is working properly now, which we have demonstrated. But the ABS itself has a fault. Now, in this case, the good thing is the ABS is not affecting the movement or the functionality of this car. So the owner can fix it at his convenience or live with it. So what does this tell us? Sometimes when you see a lot of lights on your dashboard, don't go into panic mode immediately. They could be triggered by one or two faults. Here you can see the check lights, you can see the ABS, you can see the anti-skid, you can see four-wheel drive, you can see brake. They are all triggered lights. So you need to solve the trigger with all problems before you can, say you've actually solved the problem. Go through what triggered it, solve it first, then proceed to solve the problem. I hope we have been of help, how you can pinpoint ABS problems. Of course, you need a diagnostic tool. You can't guess around ABS problem. You need a diagnostic tool to point you into to the right direction. So I hope we've been of help. Next time when you have a check light, when you have ABS lights, when you have brake lights, you know the procedure to go about it. You know how you should verify things before you come to a conclusion on their solutions. Thank you for watching. Kindly like our video, leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel, and select all so that you're notified whenever we upload a new video. Thank you.